What's up, everybody? This is George Assassin coming at you again this week for another WWC weekend review podcast. I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in. Hope everybody's had a great weekend. Anarchy and Cornit had a pretty good weekend on their shows. Both shows are pretty good. A lot of good matches. We'll go over those here in just a minute. I'll do my awards for those that deserve them this week. In my opinion, we'll go over this week's show ratings. Like I said, both shows were really good this week, so it was hard to decide, but a lot of surprises on a certain show. On both shows, actually. A lot of surprise on both shows. Got a few things of news to share at the end of the show before I close out today. I'd like to thank D-Rod for the WWC, which gives me the opportunity to do this every week. I'd like to thank my sponsors, Wolfpack Juice Boxes, our newest sponsor, 3G Masterpiece Barbecue Sauce. Heard it's selling like crazy, so you better get to your grocery and get you some before it's sold out. Without further ado, let's get on with the cards this week. On Anarchy this week, we had some really good matches. Had a surprise happen during the show, which I was kind of surprised. In the first match of the night, though, we had a triple threat Rumble qualifier match between Ziggy Geek, Dallas Havoc, and Mike Fulton. And Dallas Havoc pulled that win out again. She's getting pretty good at these non-singles matches. So Dallas Havoc is on his way to the Rumble. Second match of the night is between Kenji and a debut of John Cena the 16th. That was another Rumble qualifier match when Kenji pulled out the win on that one and advances to the Rumble. Third match of the night was a fatal four-way Hell in a Cell between Balak, Fulton, VIP, Bonesaw, and Alex Cage. Balak Fulton wins and advances to the Royal Rumble. Fourth match of the night was the number one contender for the Twitch Live title between D-Rod and Donnie Havoc in a last man standing. Donnie Havoc pulled out the win on that one. Hadn't seen him win in a while, so that was a good win for him. Next match of the night was a 6-man battle royale, number one contender cruiserweight title match between Alex Cage, Haikiri, Double Gunner, Jacob Daniels, Kenji, and Ziggy Geek. Alex Cage walks away with a win in that one and will be facing Tater Tot for the cruiserweight title eventually. Next match of the night was probably my biggest upset because I had Marcus Beldur winning this steel cage match against James Autumn, but James Autumn pulled away with a win and gets a title shot for the $1 million title now. That was a number one contenders match, so he will be facing Haikiri eventually for the $1 million title. And then the main event of the night was a no-holds-barred match between Creed and Master Funk, which I guess was leading up to their title match at the Rumble. Creed walks away with the win. It's going to be hard to beat Creed because he's been on a roll lately, so Master Funk going to have to pull it out at the Rumble to win this title from him. Towards the end of the show, D-Rod had received a mysterious bag. I guess it was delivered to his house, and A-Rod brought it into the room to him. And undoubtedly, the bag had the contents of a piece of paper with Asylum's Help Me logo on it, and it had something wrapped up in some paper towels or something that looked like, and it was some chalk, and as soon as D-Rod touched the chalk, he passed out. So from what I received from A-Rod was he was on the way to the to take D-Rod to the hospital and was in a car wreck, and when A-Rod became conscious from the wreck, D-Rod was gone and was asking for help to find him. Come to find out, Asylum had set their sights on D-Rod and managed to kidnap D-Rod and take him to the asylum where he is at right now. From what I'm understanding, Dread Havoc, which is the leader of Asylum, is allowing D-Rod to stream the WWC on the weekends. Kind of, I guess, like they allow Third Gunman and Pee Wee to attend the shows on the weekend, but after that they have to return to the asylum. So just that little bit of news that happened during the show, and to me that was pretty awesome. Something new. And I think that's about all that happened on Anarchy that I can recall. So what we'll do is we'll head over to Cornit now and go over their card. Pretty impressive night there too. They had some good matches. Their first match of the night was a triple threat between Desmond, Third Street Saints, and Cobalt, which is a result from last week and the controversial ending of that match. So they redid it this week, and Third Street Saints comes away with the win over Desmond and Cobalt. The second match of the night was a 6-man battle royal warm-up match, I believe is what they called it, between Jody, Tinku, Shark Kills, Dread Havoc, Victor, Alex Carter. Victor Payne comes away with the win in that 6-man battle royale. The next match of the night was between Gears and Firetrap Matt. It was hard for me to call this match. I figured Gears would pull away with the win, but Firetrap Matt's been pretty good lately, and Firetrap Matt walks away with a win in that match. We had a little tag team tournament on Carnage this week, and the first match was between Wolfpack and Middle Fingers, and Middle Fingers walks away with the win in that one. The second tag team tournament match of the night was One Night Stand versus Asylum. One Night Stand walks away with a win in that one. Really big win for them. But then they go on to the last tag title tournament match, which was between One Night Stand and Middle Fingers. And One Night Stand just couldn't pull it out. Middle Fingers wins, and I think they will go now and face Blackout for the tag titles. Should be a good match. Next match of the night was the Hardcore Championship Elimination Chamber match between LJB, Timothy Armstrong, Turpentine versus CBN versus Goose versus Mr. Havoc. I was pulling for Mr. Havoc in this match. But Goose walks away as the new Hardcore champ. Congratulations to him for winning the Hardcore title. During the night, I believe there was supposed to be a Wick versus Nerd Nerfer match, but that match never happened, as the cameras jumped backstage, and I guess Wick had been attacked by Dread Havoc, and from the videos, pretty gruesome headshots from a briefcase by Dread Havoc to Wick via bloodied Wick V up, but Wick still come away with a win, but it come at a cost, as we got word afterwards that Wick had suffered a severe concussion. Well, the podcast got more information after that and said that he had received 15 staples to his head from the shot from the briefcase. And on top of the severe concussion, from what I'm hearing from the WWC, is that he is not cleared to wrestle at the Rumble now. He will, so that means the Fatal 4-Way that was scheduled should be now a triple threat, and we could be watching from the back. Got a message from Dread Havoc afterwards saying, quoting, that the Asylum is not here to win titles. We are here to keep you or others from the roster from winning titles. So I guess that means that they're not here for championship gold. They are here to pretty much keep anyone else that they feel like attacking from their chance at gold. So that's pretty interesting. I guess some people may think Asylum's stupid, but I mean, look what they did to Wick Villa last night. Took him straight out of the Fatal 4-Way match. But we all know how WWC is. That don't mean nothing. We'll just have to wait and see what happens at the Rumble. I guess some pretty good matches on both shows this week. A lot happened on each of them. D-Rod being kidnapped was a pretty awesome segment. It's stuff like that to me that adds depth to the shows. So that's pretty much the cards for this week. Congratulations to all the winners. Hopefully Wick Villa recovers soon from his concussion. Now on to my weekly rewards. I done this setup different this week. Instead of going over them one by one on separate pages on my program, I decided to set it all up on one page. So this week I have it set up like this, where all the rewards are on one thing. So this week, the biggest loser to me on Anarchy had to be the monster Marcus Beldua, losing the steel cage to James Autumn. My biggest winner to me on Anarchy this week was Dallas Havoc pulling out another non-singles win and advancing to the Rumble. D-Rod wins the You Tried Award for losing to Donnie Havoc. Anytime you lose to Donnie Havoc, it's a pretty big deal, because he sucks. His call sucks. I mean, his record sucks. So, good try, D-Rod. Carnage, to me, the biggest loser this week was Gears of Kai losing to Fire Trap Matt. Not sure what this is going to do to Gears' momentum and his title hopes now. That's a pretty big loss, losing to Matt this close to the Rumble. I know Gears is, ready to get his hands on Nerfer, but we'll have to wait and see. To me, the biggest winner this week on Carnage was Goose winning the Hardcore Championship in the Elimination Chamber. That's not a small feat to do, winning a 6-man Elimination Chamber. But Goose walks away with the Hardcore Championship this week, so congratulations to him and winning the biggest winner this week. To me, the You Tried Award has to go to One Night Stand. They were impressive in their first match of that night, but they just couldn't pull it out against Middle Fingers to get that title shot. So One Night Stand gets my You Tried Award. So good try this week, One Night Stand. No Hellboy award this week, but I guess if I had to give a Hellboy award again, it'd go to D-Rod for losing to Donnie. I think this makes it 4th week in a row for D-Rod's Hellboy with a week award, so he's setting a pretty good record on that. So congratulations, D-Rod, on being Hellboy of the week again for losing to Donnie. So that's my awards this week. It's just simpler for me to do it all on this one page, and you can actually sit here and see all the rewards in one spot. So I think it'd be better for me and the universe in the long run. Now my weekly ratings are set up differently too. I did them differently this week. I put them on the same page too, and I'll go over them and explain why. So this week on Anarchy, I gave them 5 stars only because I really enjoyed the Asylum bit at the end. I'm a big fan of surprises and new stuff, out of the ordinary stuff, and to me, D-Rod doing the Asylum segment at the end of Anarchy, along with the matches they had that night that were really good, kind of pushed them to 5 stars this week. It's stuff like that I look at, and for him to pull it off this week like that gets Anarchy 5 stars. Carnage gets 4 stars this week. Not taking away from their show. I mean, last week they had Week V on the show. I mean, there's no way Anarchy could top that last week. That was a lot of the reason that Cornit got 5 stars last week, because it was an epic episode. Week V is showing up. Biggest thing so far on either show. The Asylum segment this week for Anarchy, like I said, gives them 5 stars from me because it was something fresh, something new, something out of the ordinary, and we kind of all knew that something was up with D-Rod and Asylum, but just wasn't sure what, and the way that it was pulled off was pretty impressive to me. So, like I said, Anarchy gets 5 stars for that. Carnage still gets 4 stars for an impressive week of matches. I think that's the first week on both shows that there wasn't any glitches. So that's a big plus. As far as the shows go, I think that's pretty much a wrap up this week. Don't have any other news to bring out that I can think of off the bat. I would like to send a message out to Dallas Havoc that I'm still thinking of your offer to join Real Men Wear Pink. I have to get with Master Funk and ask him before I can give you an answer. I'll get you that answer as soon as I know something. Looks like Pee Wee has adjusted to living the Asylum life now. He seems to be fitting in well there. Third Gunman is still mad at D-Rod for taking his chalk. I will say this Asylum bit is to me, is something fresh, something new. And for it to be brought into WWC like it has, and for those that are a part of it, it just to me makes things more fun. We need fresh stuff like this to keep things going, and Asylum has brought some of that to the WWC, because it spreads across both shows now. So I'm interested to see what happens happens on Anarchy now, being that they're kind of spreading over to the other show. I mean, they made an impact on Cornit. Just look what happened to Wick. Dread Havoc takes him completely out of the Rumble picture, as far as we know. But you know, WWC works in strange ways. So going by what the medical staff says means absolutely nothing. So who knows? We might still see Wick via the Rumble. He does have kind of a hard head, so he might just pull them staples out of himself and go on with the match. We'll just have to wait and see. But I think that's going to be it for this week's Assassins in Review podcast. I'll be announcing later, probably Monday or Tuesday, on my next podcast guest. I am not sure yet who it is. I haven't decided. I kind of just look at my list and say, okay, I think I'll have him on this week. So I will let whoever I decide on know Monday or Tuesday, and we can set up a time to get it scheduled to do it. I usually like to do the show before that week's Anarchy and Carnage shows. So like I said, I'll look at my list and I'll see who I'd like to have on and send them a message, and we can set up the time. Other than that, guys, I think that's it for this week. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I am also still trying to get this microphone issue fixed. I just can't figure out why I sound clear and everything to everybody on Discord, but when it comes through on YouTube, everybody's louder than I am, or what the issues may be. I'm still trying to figure them out, so just keep bearing with me on the audio issues. I'll hopefully have them fixed one day. Again, I'd like to thank the sponsors, Wolfpack Juice Boxes and 3G Masterpiece Barbecue Sauce, for helping the podcast be what it is. D-Rod, again, thank you for the WWC and giving me the opportunity to do this. Again, congratulations on D-Rod for winning Howboy Award for the 5th week. Pretty impressive record. Again, congratulations to all the winners on the shows this week, all the award winners. Congratulations. Other than that, I would like to say thank you guys again for tuning in, and this is Georgia Assassin for another Week in Review podcast, and I will talk to y'all later. See ya.